Zombies are cool, but what's even better than zombies? Killing them, obviously, by any means necessary. Baseball bats, fire, guns, traps, or mowing them down, perhaps? See what I did there? Yeah, so basically I'm working on a game called Mow Down, which is currently a multiplayer arcade versus shooter, but my goal is a cool zombie shoot 'em up, and I've spent the past week adding the first zombies to the game, so let's get right into it and roll the intro. I guess this is the part where I do some development. Anyway, rain to stop, by the way. So obviously my plan for this devlog is zombies, or the basic idea of zombies. So I thought it would be a good idea to draw up a plan on what the zombies are going to be. And obviously I'm going to be using paint to draw these zombies, because that's what all the professionals use these days. Okay, so what are we doing here? Let's make the zombies green, and this little triangle is going to represent zombies. This is our zombie triangle. That's way too big. Okay, this is the zombie triangle. It'll have an attack range, which, let's just say it's this. Let's say the player enters the attack range, then the zombie will be like, aha, brains. So it'll go towards the player, because you know zombies are dumb, so I don't really need to come up with complex AI or anything. For hordes of them, you know, let's just this is a, you know, this is a horde of zombies. I don't know why that didn't. Oh, because of the different color. I can't even use paint properly. We'll just imagine this is our horde of zombies. You can mow down these zombies, and the zombies will damage you if you're going below a certain speed. So obviously for something like the Jeep, let's just assume this is a Jeep, the resistive force will actually be much larger. This is a great error. But for something like you know, like a tank, the resistive force will be much smaller, because obviously it's heavier. They won't be much of a threat to the tank, which is, you know, why you get different types of zombies. So, you know, we could have like a zombie that it just blows up sometimes. You know, boom. This is a, there we go. This is an explosion. Boom. So yeah, and then you might have a zombie with a gun, or two guns. That's the kind of basic plan anyway. So yeah, I guess we just we get right into it then. After professionally putting together a plan of action, I took off on designing this basic zombie AI. For the first day, I worked on implementing a basic state system. This is essentially a system where an artificially intelligent object will have a number of predefined scripts that are called when necessary due to certain requirements being met. Basically, zombie get told what to do, zombie do. The basic zombies would have three primary states: idle, wait, and chase. The idle state is where the zombie will wander aimlessly by itself, selecting a random direction and just, well, walking. Occasionally the zombie will change its direction, but as long as it is undisturbed, it'll just mind its own business. The wait state is called between idle states, where the zombie will just sit down, get a cuppa, and just chill out for 5 before setting back off on its valiant quest. And finally, the chase state. This happens when a player object enters the zombie's field of vision. When this happens, the zombie will begin chasing the player at a faster speed, obviously simping for the player's juicy brain tissue. And after creating these three states, making sure they can seamlessly pass on to one another, the basic zombie AI was complete. But this is far from the result I was looking for. There was something that I so desperately wanted to get into the game, something that really separates zombies from anything else. Hordes. Call me ambitious, but I wanted hordes of hundreds if not thousands of zombies to be threatening the player. And so on to the next step of this magnificent journey. I set out to create zombie hordes. But turns out it wasn't as easy as I thought it would be. The first thing I had to do was decide how I was going to make groups of zombies become hordes, and then how they would act once they become a horde. After some thinking, I decided the best way to get the hordes I wanted was to randomly elect a leader. This leader would look and act no differently to the other zombies, with the exception that all nearby zombies would now follow it. There would naturally be only one leader for every group of zombies, but there could be multiple groups depending on how many zombies there are and how spaced out they are from each other. The chance of a zombie becoming a leader is extremely small. However, when every single zombie is doing the same check every few seconds until a leader is created, the chance becomes much higher. Naturally, the more zombies there are present, the more likely it is that they will group together and become a horde. All it takes would be around 100, and it's practically guaranteed that they will join together. Now, after coding this all in, putting a visual representation of the chosen leader, it was looking pretty good. Which means we move on to the final step in creating the basic zombies of Mow Down: graphics. Currently, due to my unhealthy addiction with simple geometry, the zombies were nothing more than little squares. Obviously, that had to change. So I sat down and drew up some zombie sprites, giving them small animations for moving limbs. Then, upon creation, each zombie would simply select a random sprite to have assigned to it. After the zombie sprites were complete, I wanted to make killing them satisfying, as obviously that was the entire point. I had this idea in my head for the ground to be drenched in blood after mowing down an entire horde of them, so I got to work on some particle effects and blood splats. And finally, to complete the apocalyptic look I was going for, I drew up a new multiplayer deathmatch map to test the zombies in, styled after a desert. I'm not gonna lie, the results were pretty damn awesome. And that about wraps up this devlog. Thanks for joining me on this journey, and if you want to stay up to date on the latest progress of Mow Down, just go and hit that subscribe button. The next steps in development will likely be some map design for the single player mode and more zombie types, so let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions or ideas for either of those. Anyway, thanks again, and I'll see you next time.